Hi, so this might get a little convoluted, please bear with me. I'm from a specific religious and cultural background, so there's some context needed. I, 28 female, come from a very religious community. My parents immigrated to our country as refugees, and the only family they had nearby were distant relatives, like fifth cousins that once moved, but they became close and built their own little community. There were originally 7 sets of aunts and uncles and their many kids. This started before I was born, so it's been going on for 30 plus years. There are more relatives now, but that core group plus 3 grandparents is basically our extended family. We all grew up extremely close. Some of us were born months apart because our moms planned their pregnancies together. We range from 33 to 17 in our current cousins and friends group, plus younger siblings and kids. I'm 28 and my sister is 4, for example. Our parents raised us like siblings. They drove us to school together, enrolled us in the same religious classes, vacationed together even abroad, and rotated childcare. They even moved into the same neighborhood, so no house was more than 10 minutes away. Some parents breastfed each other's kids, and in Islam that makes you milk siblings, which means you can't marry each other and have relaxed modesty boundaries. So even though most of us aren't biologically that close, we are family. None of us would ever see each other romantically, and our parents treat us like siblings too. As adults, we're still inseparable. We go on holidays, hang out after work, and have regular game nights. The cousins with kids share babysitting duties. Our dynamic is extremely tight-knit. We all have silly nicknames from childhood that just stuck. For example, Wawa for a cousin named Aurora. It sounds dumb, but calling each other by real names now feels cold and rude almost. Usually only family uses these names, though spouses eventually pick them up too. Until recently, no one had an issue with this setup, that 2 of my cousins, 29 male and 28 male, recently got married, and their wives, 27 female and 28 female, have joined our gatherings like game nights, BBQs, kids parties, etc. To be noted, a lot of these happen at my house, or my parents' house, because I love hosting, and as a single woman who lives alone in a big house, I've always got space, and it's just easier for the family. From the start, both wives seem to have an attitude towards some of us, especially me. I originally thought it was because they didn't know me well, as we spent less time together in these gatherings, as I would get busy as the hostess. But it might also be because I'm friendly and share a lot of hobbies and professional interests with those cousins. We talk often, and they're also over at my place, often I guess that rubbed the wives the wrong way. Last Saturday I hosted an impromptu pizza night because I just bought a pizza oven. Since it wasn't planned, only about half the cousins could make it. The 2 cousins and their wives came early. After hanging out for a bit, the guys left to grab donuts for the group, leaving me, the 2 wives, and 2 younger female cousins at my place. We were chatting in the kitchen while I prepped toppings when things suddenly turned nasty. The wives started asking pointed questions about my relationship status, mocking me for putting more effort into family than dating. One almost called me a whore in our language for not wearing a headscarf around the guys, wearing revealing dresses and trying to steal their men. Then they started picking apart everything: my dress, body, house, hobbies. They even called me a pick-me for liking things like gaming and robotics. It was a full-on tag team insult session. I was so shocked I just stared at them, and my younger cousins were too stunned to say anything. Eventually I stood up and told them to get out of my house. They looked at me like I was insane. It was raining and their husbands had the car they arrived in together, but I told them, calmly but coldly, "Leave before I drag you out myself." I opened the door, pointed outside, and told them to get off my property. They finally left, and I locked the door, turned off the porch light. Yes, I was being petty, and just stood there shaking with anger. My cousins comforted me and texted their brothers to explain what happened. Apparently, the wives were mad that I used childhood nicknames for their husbands, names they weren't allowed to use. They were also mad that I spend too much time with them and talking to the cousins. They completely ignored the fact that they could have joined us any time. I even lent one cousin my Switch so he could try to get his wife into gaming. But apparently, everything about me just irritated them. And all the offers I made were just not good to be enough. Now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole. I can see how my closeness to my cousins might make their wives uncomfortable. And maybe I should have been more aware of that. But I still feel like I was justified in kicking them out after they insulted me in my own home. I feel like this whole thing could have been avoided by their wives communicating with either me or their husbands. But I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I'd want to put boundaries between me and the boys if the wives asked. That might make me the asshole too. So, am I the asshole for kicking them out? Into the rainy night? After they accused me of trying to steal my cousins, who I see as almost my brothers.
I don't think you are the asshole. I think your cousins' wives are jealous and insecure cause you are not the only one that calls your cousins by their nicknames. They are weird and gross for thinking you want their husbands, like those are your cousins. I like the fact you kicked them out and also turned off the light. That was so funny and petty. What do you guys think? Do you think she's the asshole? Drop thoughts in the comment.